Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Law & Order Legacies. So, we are resuming Episode 1 Revenge, which I guess just by the title tells us that this is a revenge plot. We made a mistake and we got 1 of 3 strikes because we didn't have any hard evidence to prove that he was telling the truth, which seems like a really ridiculous thing to have. And it probably implies that I should have gone to phone records before I asked about anybody else having access.
We're going to need to check all activity on the phone over the weekend.
This isn't Big Brother, despite what you might think. We do track calls, text messages, and data downloads, but not every single interaction.
Really? You sure about that?
Well, there are other records, but those are internal and restricted. I'm not authorized to show you those.
Is he authorized? Yes. That was correct. Council already authorized him to release all relevant records. He already has access to the counts. Stop being was. Like, what's the right response here? This is probably the evidence of how I know he's authorized, but police investigating a homicide can look at any material they wish. Not true. They could go get they certainly could get a subpoena for it, though. However, it is very much true that the phone companies will cooperate with authorities almost always, like even without a subpoena. And if it's not police but federal, a national security letter forces the phone companies and internet companies to cooperate, and then puts them under a gag order that can go on forever, that they can't even tell people that they've released information. So it's incredibly unsecure and unprivate to make phone calls, or pretty much do much of anything in the United States as far as communication technologies. So I get a star.
You said council already authorized you to show us any relevant records. How about it, Mr. Gray?
New topics have been released. And so here we have illegal access and restricted records, and I imagine restricted records are the other things. Feels almost like both of these might go in the same way, that there is some log of somebody illegally accessing their server, and those are restricted records because they don't want information out. Also, I already have 5 stars out of 5, so like either these are both red herrings or just the end of the conversation, or what? I don't even know.
So if no one at Mercury did this, could someone have hacked into the account?
We work very hard to maintain the integrity of our system.
So no recent
Totally.
problems with break-ins or hacking?
Our security is very good, Detective.
You didn't answer her question.
No hacking at all. None. We've never had a single security breach.
Wow, you must not keep any records at all if that's the case. Do I believe him? No. Because that's unrealistic. See, it just feels like... Ooh. So 6 stars out of 5 now. Who said there were reports of break-ins? That happened in the scene before this. So we'll have to come back here. Pete Shanahan down in fraud told me they'd had problems with security lately. Interesting. More stars.
Detective Shanahan already informed me you've had problems with break-ins.
Well, we didn't want this to go public, but yes, we are aware of some issues.
What happened exactly?
Attacks on the customer data, PIN numbers being stolen, that sort of thing.
Interesting. So now I have 7 out of 5 stars. And I have no idea what this badge is for. And I guess these are strikes.
Let's have a look at those restricted records, Mr. Gray.
We prefer not to share those personal customer records. It can project a negative corporate image. It would be a complete invasion of our customers' privacy. You guys need a warrant.
Let's see. Now, any good detective would challenge him. But how far they would challenge him is the level of being forceful versus being illegal search of evidence. But then again, this is law and order, so if we collect evidence without a subpoena, it may be thrown out at the trial. So let's say no. Let's come back with a subpoena later. This is probably the wrong choice, but like video game wise, most video game players would say challenge him. Always challenge him. That's where the game is. You challenge people. But if we're trying to win the court case at the end of the episode, I'll say no. Let's get a subpoena. Wow.
We're conducting a murder investigation, Mr. Gray. We need to know what happened to those voicemails, and we need to know now.
Sure, we can go get a warrant if that makes you feel better.
But by that time, more of your customers might end up dead, like Rachel Trevino. That makes for a very negative corporate image.
All right. There's no record of who exactly deleted the voicemails. But honestly, someone modified her account about 2 weeks ago.
Who?
This is embarrassing, but it was one of our own contractors. He's a bit of a hacker. He could have accessed her information. He did not have company permission to do this.
But why?
He's a strange guy, detective. Very intense. His name is Tom Newberry. Here's his contact number. One thing, you might not want to call from your precinct.
Oh, why not?
Tom knows how to crack caller ID. He always knows who's calling and from where.
Thanks for the tip.
Okay. So, stars to ace was 5. Bonus stars was 2 out of 5. And lifetime total stars now is 9. How does that work at all? Like, we had 6 stars before, didn't we? Or was that 6 points? Are we in a completely different system? Or did we lose points from clicking the wrong thing? And see, I imagine if you really cared, you would go back and just try to get everything perfect, but why bother? There's such a little game here. That's such a stretch.
Weird place for an interview, Curtis.
It's very weird to have the save file
He thinks
icon
it's all a
in
big game.
I get the
the
impression
left
he's
half of
young.
the screen,
His
too.
mom answered the phone when I first called. Speaking of games, good cop or bad cop?
Bad cop, definitely.
Suits me.
So I'm supposed to be good cop?
Call me Anonymous.
We already have your name and phone number, dumbass.
Okay, play good cop. So here's FTP. I know what that is. File Transfer Protocol. An incredibly unsecure protocol that has been replaced with secure FTP, SFTP, which is still not really secure enough. So more preferred is FTP through SSH, which is secure socket, secure shell. But I know that because I know a few things about IT. Let's play good cop
We
first.
talked to some people at Mercury Telstar. You have a reputation there. People said you're good. Too good, maybe.
We thought you might have done something illegal, but they said their
Here, the audio
security's
just
way too tough
bump
for you to
up.
crack.
please. I wrote their security. The firewalls, the protocol encryption, it's all me, detective.
So, you could crack
Wait.
a voicemail account?
Stupid easy.
What about deleting voicemails?
In my sleep, detective.
And what did Mercury Telstar think of that?
New topics have been revealed. So, what I imagine is happening with the audio is, if I can do a little experiment here. I'm talking a foot away from my microphone. There's a pop filter on it and nothing really else. Now, if I was to go like this real quick and move close to my microphone, I bet that was a lot louder. Which probably tells me that they had the voice actors, who should be professionals and not do that, and the voice directors, who should be professionals and tell them, you've got to redo that take because that was totally messed up. We're not professionals, one of the two. The only other thing I could imagine is that this game is so buggy on the Telltale engine, which is what all of these games are made on, that the audio is spiking for its own reasons, and it was recorded correctly. So I imagine we're never going to get more than 5 choices. So let's ask about the alibi now.
Where were you on Saturday night?
Everywhere.
Tom, we can go downtown right now if that's how you want to play it.
Sorry, I was online. On a raid.
Anyone corroborate this?
I have 20 warriors in my guild.
Let me rephrase. Did anyone real see you?
Yeah. My mom. I live with her. She was
This
there
is
the whole time.
really, really insanely cliched. Like, you have a nerd kid hacker, but he's also claiming that he, from the ground up, wrote encryption protocols and a firewall. Not gonna happen. If he had said he set up the encryption and he set up the firewall and he was a nerd kid hacker, I'd understand that. But you're gonna need at least 5 to 6 years of college education before you're writing your own protocols, if they're worth anything at all. Even having a finished product. And I seriously doubt there's much of any security in most phone companies. Is this a plausible alibi? I'm going to say yes. What makes this alibi plausible? Benson stated she knew Tom's mother from a previous case. Detective Curtis already knows Tom lives with his mom. We'll do that. I guess we're gonna try and play
I talked to
perfectly.
your mom on the phone already. Does she know you're out this late?
Hilarious.
Let's ask about let's leave Rachel out of it, I think. We'll ask about FTP.
So, Tom, how many FTPs do you have?
Where'd you learn that word? You're using that word wrong.
FTPs. Do you have them?
Someone taught you a computer word and you're using it wrong. Just stop.
You found the red herring. FTP. How many FTPs do you have? You know, you might have several FTP servers around. Let's see. Let's ask about Mercury
Why would your
Telstar.
old company accuse you of hacking?
Mercury Telstar hates me. They'll accuse me of anything. I'm a rogue anarchist activist. Those accounts are my playground.
And you hacked Rachel Trevino's.
I don't know. No. No. Why are you asking?
Your old company seems to think you did, and you apparently possess the skills.
No, I don't. Look, for instance, I couldn't have gotten through their firewall, right? No way. The protocol encryption alone is just way beyond my skill.
No, he just bragged. Yeah, here's a red herring, so if you're not paying enough attention, you could click the wrong thing. You can't be an anarchist activist, by the way, really. Because if activists usually have some order, structure, and plans, anarchists in general are against all of those things. It's kind of what they stand for.
You're lying, twerp.
Totally not lying, Detective.
Remember how you were bragging on how you wrote the security?
Oh. Right.
That gives you means. Now we just need motive and opportunity.
Hey, wait a second. You didn't Mirandize me. I know my rights.
Oh, Tom, this is just an interview, not an arrest. So sorry. Miranda doesn't apply.
Interesting. Anarchy. So, Rachel's already been brought up, so we might as well ask her that. There's some weirdness here, but this game makes a lot more sense than The Walking Dead even does. For the way the dialogue works.
Did you know Rachel Trevino?
She mentioned your name on her blog.
She did? Oh my god, really? What'd she say about me? Does she like me? Does she want me?
I didn't see a
Sure
blog.
you didn't know her? Or want to know her? I mean, you're smart, Tom. All you had to do was hack in, learn her secrets, get close.
No, it's not like that.
But she still wouldn't have you. It drove you crazy. And then, things just got out of control. It's not your fault. Am I right?
Wait, what's not my fault? What are you talking about? Look, you gotta believe me. I didn't know this girl. I don't know any girls.
Do I believe Tom? I've got like no evidence, I think, to corroborate that he knows her. Do I believe her? No. Wow. Interesting. So maybe this guy did delete voicemails, but it seems like he only did it for anarchistic reasons.
Would it surprise you to learn that the internet was developed by the Department of Defense? Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a weapon is what it is. But weapons are harmless when dismantled. My mission is to take the internet and explode it into a million pieces.
But then what will you do on Saturday nights?
Well, there's always Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's get back to Rachel Trevino.
Red herring.
So, why would a nice guy like you want to delete voicemails?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
Curtis, can I tase this guy?
Tom, I think you're starting to irritate my partner.
You like games, Tom? Let's play a game. It's called Detective Benson Likes You for a Murder. I throw you in jail, and you try to survive as long as you can against the drug addicts and the gang members who live there. You can post the results on your blog.
I can picture the Facebook update now.
I just... Okay. There was another reason.
New topic revealed, thank goodness. What is the other reason?
What is this another reason?
Well, I was paid to access the account, of course.
By who?
I don't want to say.
You better say. Or do we need to call your mom and tell her you're running a hacking ring out of her basement?
Oh, Jesus, no. But don't get her involved. That woman has enough problems. These people are powerful.
Names. We need names.
Interesting.
I don't know their names.
But you know they're powerful? How does that work?
We only did business over the phone. They had their caller ID blocked, so I never knew their names.
What? No. James Gray said Tom cracked the caller ID and always knew the caller's real name. Tom said earlier that he knew at least one name. Tom was a little Weasley. No one lies about everything.
You're a terrible liar, Tom.
Your old boss told us you know how to crack caller ID codes. You know those names, and you're gonna tell us one way or another.
Oh.
You know what? Playtime is over. You better start coughing up solid answers or I'm throwing you in Rikers, and your mom will have to spend her last cent to post your bail.
Here's a problem.
Okay. But listen,
Any evidence
I
you
only
get
hacked the
here.
accounts to sell the voicemail passwords.
Passwords? Plural?
Yeah, I did a lot of them. Celebrities, politicians, you name it. Then I sold the passwords to this lady named Gwendolyn Scott. She's like a PR flack.
Did she ask you to mess with Rachel's account?
Yeah? I figured it was corporate espionage or something. You know, what do I care? Let the capitalist pigs brawl in the mud. Who's it gonna hurt?
Rachel Trevino.
Have a great night, Deep Throat.
That's not an appropriate thing to say to a kid. Since Deep Throat is the name of a porno on top of being the name of the informant on Nixon, I believe. But yeah, all this questioning we just did would be thrown out in court because the minor did not have his parents present, or a guardian present, or a advocate present of some sort. So you interview all you like, but any evidence you get here is easily tossed, I think. So we got 6 of 6 to ace. We've done that now 3 times in a row. We got none of the bonus stars though. And we were at 9 and now we're at 15, which I guess makes sense. 6 plus 9 would equal 15. I guess.
We're going to start by what we call defining your moment.
Gwendolyn Scott?
There's a lot of background
I'm Detective Ray Curtis.
animation
This is Detective Benson.
changing
I need to talk to
here.
you for a minute.
So sorry, I'm busy.
And a lot of character models being
It's
made.
important.
If
My
these
client
characters
is
don't
important.
show
You
up,
can call my office.
You know,
I imagine
guy
a
named
lot of the
Tom
characters
just gave
will
me this
show up
girl's
again.
number, PR flag. She likes to buy voicemail passwords and blackmail her clients. Maybe I'll call her instead.
You can see that background is drawn very poorly.
Hmm. 5 minutes.
Like on a Wii, that probably looked fine, but since I
that
think the
fun,
Wii
detective?
barely did
Sometimes
720p
I like to play rough.
of resolution,
Well, so do I. But a little charm can go a long way.
frankly, this just looks like this looks like stock images. Should we be charming or be forceful?
Sorry. I promise this will only take a moment of your time. You're a busy girl.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
And I promise I won't make up extra questions as an excuse to talk to you longer.
All right, Romeo, settle down. Ask away.
New topics have been revealed. Let's ask about the celebrity gossip.
What kind of business do you do, Miss Scott?
The PR biz is a very careful, very delicate balance between what you know, what you say, and who you say it to. There was this one guy. Used to be major A-list, now he's major A-hole. Anyway, he crashed his car outside Savannah, stinking drunk and out of his mind on PCP. I mean, who does PCP anymore? He gets out, strips all his clothes off, and flags down a car full of college students. Well, by the time they got to Daytona Beach, they had 2 hours of him ranting about Canadians on their cell phone cameras. I had to pay them each $10,000 for the phones and footage. 40 grand. And on top of that, I had to pay out for damage to the car seats due to excessive sweating.
Enchanting story, Miss Scott.
And see, that felt like the combination of several stories that actually happened and slightly changed. Let's see. Let's ask about Tom Newberry first.
Do you know Tom Newberry?
No.
No. any answer where it's no, you can pretty much assume they're lying, because the game wouldn't go forward if that was the case. Both of these are very similar. Tom Newberry said she knew him and paid him for the passwords. Tom Newberry said he had seen him specifically on his caller ID. And I guess the first one was the right choice.
He says he knows you.
Same
That's how
music.
we got your name.
A lot of people know me.
Do a lot of people
Over and
call
over
you?
again.
Not the right people.
I wonder if these are just 3D models that showed up in later games, like The Walking Dead. It's possible. There weren't a ton of extra characters, though, in The Walking Dead Season 1. So, these, like, the main actors totally would be out. Maybe their body models would change, but the faces
Rachel
wouldn't
Trevino
work.
mean anything to you?
No, should it?
But her
She was
face
murdered
doesn't look
last night.
familiar
We found her
either.
body at the Parkview Regency.
Oh, poor girl. As if life isn't tough enough for housekeeping.
Yes, something's wrong. We didn't say that she worked for housekeeping. We just said we found her at the Parkview Regency. So we caught her in a lie. What?
I didn't say anything about her being with housekeeping.
I must have read it in the paper.
Nothing's been released to the papers yet.
It must have been gossip. You know how these things get around, Detective.
And see, when you fail here, it really sucks because you can't just replay and try again in that instance. You would have to replay the whole scene, which would be incredibly boring. Incredibly boring. You don't even really have to pay
Tom
too much
Newberry already
attention.
told us you knew her.
Oh, that Rachel. Of course. My mistake.
Oh, there
I'm
was
such an
better
idiot.
evidence that proved she already knew him.
So if I look up your phone records and Tom Newberry called you, and you talked to him more than once, now, would I be crazy to think you're lying to me?
I'd say you were just jealous.
Do you feel like she's cooperating? No. People in public relations can never be trusted. Well, probably true, not any good feeling. She has yet to answer a single question truthfully. She's getting angry, and that's a sign of guilt. Tom Newberry said she was difficult to... I would say this, like, past performance again.
I'm
Yeah.
not the jealous type, Miss Scott, and I don't like playing games. You knew him.
Fine. Yes, we did business. I paid him for insider information.
You paid Tom for what, exactly?
Passwords. I paid Tom for access to voicemail accounts.
So you could delete Rachel Trevino's voicemails?
Look, I really shouldn't say.
Did you want to keep her quiet? Miss Scott, were you involved in her murder?
No, I did delete Rachel's voicemails, yes, but I did it for someone else. On someone else's orders. Understand?
Do I believe her? Yeah, probably. She's probably working for somebody else. Do I have any reason to believe her? What evidence? The statement must be true because it made her look guilty. James Crane confirmed that Tom Newberry deleted voicemails during a hacker attack. Her statement is true because she is attracted to Curtis and trying to impress him. Like, this is never gonna be the response. Well, apparently, maybe it was.
All right, I'm listening. Why don't you tell me a little more? Was someone else involved?
Who's the someone else? Clearly, I'm not even gonna ace this one if I
Who
screw
asked
this
you
up
to delete
again.
the voicemails?
A client. I really can't tell you.
I'm gonna find out.
But
anyway. I'm actually pretty good.
If
at
I
this
mess up, I'm
detective
gonna have to replay anyways.
Well, crap. I guess it's all over for me anyway. Here's the deal. I gave Rachel's password and voicemails to my usual buyer, Alexander Baran.
Alexander Baran, as in CEO of Wider Media? The Russian guy who owns like half the television stations in America?
The very same. Baran bought Rachel's voicemail access from me a few weeks ago, and then told me to delete them all.
Do I believe her? I would say yes. That was 50-50. Wait a minute. We didn't look at her notebook, did we? Like, Like, we got that evidence, but we didn't. Nobody ever said out loud Wider Media, so Alex Baron was just named in Rachel's notebook. Wider Media. James Gray stated that Wider Media owns Mercury Telstar. Do they? We didn't see her phone account, so that can't be right. James Gray. Mercury Wireless. There's literally no evidence to solve this. Like, so I either have to say Alex Barron was in Rachel's notebook because I didn't see that, or I didn't see that, or I have to say this and I didn't hear that. So we'll just click this and be wrong. Wow.
Wider Media. Rachel wrote that in her day planner. It didn't click until now. Miss Scott, why was Alexander Baran interested in Rachel?
I got very, very
She's
lucky
an
there.
He's a Russian billionaire. I don't get it.
Rachel Trevino was not a hotel maid. She was an activist, a blogger, and she had uncovered some dirty, dirty secrets.
She actually
about
was a
Alexander
blogger?
Baran. He's a very bad boy detective.
Wow.
What did she find out?
I
Baran
thought
has a problem keeping it
the
in his
lady
pants,
detective
especially
was
when
joking
it comes to
there.
housekeeping stuff. We've had to cover up a few unsavory encounters. Rachel tried to set up a sting going undercover at the hotel, and I honestly don't know what happened after that, but I think she got in over her head.
Did Baran kill her?
And this is where my lawyer would advise me to keep my mouth shut.
Come on, Gwen.
Oh, now it's Glenn. I like that. Okay, look, all I'm gonna say is the Parkview Regency Hotel has a front desk, right? Ask them who stayed there on Saturday.
So, weird and very lucky turn of events. We almost had to replay the whole scene. Just there is also a realization here that the way the story was written is out of order of the way we're playing it, because in the previous scene the lady detective, I forget her name, said that she wrote about him in the blog, wrote about the kid in the blog, and we never got any evidence that she was a blogger at all. So it's a weird backwards reveal. So our total lifetime stars are now 24. We got the 8 to ace, and we found 1 red herring. And that's where we're going to end it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.